First of all, let me tell you that Post Time began on July 5th, 1998. Since then, we've given you almost 450 new episodes. That's an accomplishment I'm very proud of. Am I tooting my own horn? I like to call it self-promotion. So anyway, how is a post-time show put together? Well, pretty much like any other type of television show. I mean, it's obviously not the same people or subject or crazy host, but the basic structure of putting it all together is very similar. There are 3 phases: pre-production, production, and post-production. In the pre-production phase, it's all about putting together a show format, like the theme, and I decide which races to feature. I like to use long shots. Big payoffs are attention getters. Close races, especially dead heats, and of course, world records. Funny names are always a favorite of mine too. Oh, and I can't forget one of the most important things I do during the pre-production phase is beg people to be on the show.
Please, Tony Morgan, please do an interview with me.
Now let's move on to the production part. That's when we gather all the footage together. We, meaning me and my cameraman, Robert. Harness racing is not a 9-to-5 career for anyone, including myself, so I depend on the help of others to get things done, including my next-door neighbor, who I happen to call Mom. She gets to take care of my son Wyatt on the nights I shoot the show. Lucky her.
I love you.
The interviews I do are usually set up in advance. Every once in a while, I rely on another technique to get people on the show. A little something I like to call ambushing. In addition to interviews, we gather what's called B-roll. That's the footage of horses or people or things you see that appear throughout the show. And I live by the rule that too much footage is better than not enough. A lot of times we also use the green screen, where I do my stand-ups to introduce the show and the segments. It's just like what the weather person uses on the news. See? Thanks to the magic of television, I can be standing in front of anything. Now it's time for post-production. Well, my cameraman Robert also wears the hat of editor. So we take all that was shot and the races that were picked out and transfer everything that's on tape into the fancy Final Cut Pro editing computer, which is located at the official Post-Time production suite. I may not be Nicole Kidman, but the blockbuster Cold Mountain was edited on the same type of machine as we edit Post-Time. What can I say? Kent County, Delaware is the new LA. After everything's in the editor and I have the show written, I do my VO. That's TV talk for voiceover, which just means that I sit in front of a microphone and read the words that I just wrote. Now that audio and video are in the editor, I tell Robert what order I want everything, and he uses his magic to put it all together. Some weeks are obviously easier to edit than others, but for the most part, it takes an entire day and a half to edit the show each week. When it's done to perfection, Robert drives it down to WBOC in Salisbury, Maryland. And on Sunday and Monday mornings, you get to sit back, and so do I, to watch this half-an-hour program that, in my humble opinion, is the best harness racing show in the entire universe. Post Time!